Hello, and welcome to the Writer's Desk. My name is Lisa Soland, and I am a writer, playwright, and I run the All Original Playwright Workshop, both online and live workshops in Los Angeles and Eastern Tennessee. I'm here today to talk with you about the topic of receiving feedback. It's very important and a big part of the working playwright's life. It's not really about you. It's about your work, and it's about them. And if you keep your mind thinking like that, you won't feel as though you're being completely suffocated and criticized, regardless of where the person is coming from, because we can't control other people. You can't make somebody be able to have the ability to be able to give you criticism in the way in which you're able to hear it. So the most important thing for you to do is be gracious and receive the feedback, elegance and grace. How do you do that? We're going to talk about that today. You, first of all, don't have to say anything. You don't have to, in fact, it's best you don't defend your work. It's best that whatever you do, you maintain a mental image of yourself as simply receiving. See, it's not about you. It's not about you explaining why you did what you did with a certain character in Act 2. So what I do is I take a pad of paper and I make sure that it's blank, and I write at the top, listen. This is an ability that we have, or a talent that we've let slide. Most of the time when there's some sort of a symposium, we all wait and we're thinking in our heads what we're going to say when it comes time for us to talk. But it doesn't ever have to come time for you to talk. Isn't that great? That should be a great relaxing thing for you. You just have to listen. When we are placed in situations as playwrights where people show up with the intent to help us develop our work, it's about them and their time. I mean, they've taken time out of their day to come and hear your play with the intent of giving you feedback so that you can make your play better. I mean, talk about a selfless thing to do. The best thing we can do as playwrights is to listen. That's not easy when you are feeling bombarded and feeling like your work is being ripped apart at the seams. You always get one or two people at your play readings that have to be right about something. They have an attitude where they know that they've discovered the answer to your play, which, chances are they haven't. No one in that room is going to know your play better than you. And the other thing that we often forget, and why we fall into defensive behavior, is because we forget that we're in charge. We forget that we get the final say about our play. If you're ever in a situation where you don't, I would say something's wrong, because playwrights get to decide where a comma goes, where a stage direction goes, where anything goes. This is not screenwriting where you're lucky if 30% of what you've written makes it into the final cut. This is playwriting, and you have to remember that when you're sitting at a reading of your work. You're the guy in control. So the least you can do is be gracious. When someone who knows less than you about your script, and probably about playwriting in general, maybe. If you're lucky, you've got a bunch of people in your audience who know more than you. And then you're lucky, and you better really listen. Better practice, because we're not good at this. As artists, actually as human beings, it's one of our, human conditions, is we want, if somebody's attacking, right, what do you want to do? Defend. You don't want to get into that, because here's why. The moment you start defending your work, the audience is going to get what's going on, even if they don't get it consciously, and they're going to shut down. They're going to stop giving you the gems that they have to give you. Gems. And you're going to shut down those gems because of an insecurity. Well, here's the bottom line. Guess what? We're all insecure. Everybody is. But you know what? Knowing that, it's okay, right? No big deal. So you can be gracious, you can be kind, and you can sit there and you can listen. Now, the chances of you actually taking in what people are saying are very small. Because in your mind, you're thinking, I want to say this, I want to say this. So what you want to do is you want to try to be really calm, you want to relax, you want to pretend, you know, like, what was it, the Brady Bunch, when Marcia was going to take her driver's test, you know, they advised her to picture the instructor to be in his underwear, you know. I don't know. I don't do those things. I don't picture my audiences in their underwear, but whatever, whatever helps you to be relaxed, okay? Because you want to be able to hear what people say, and you want to be able to think, is this idea going to make my play better, or is it not? The best thing you can do is take dictation and just simply write down, you know, Sally in scene 2 should not speak until spoken to, you know. And then the next idea, the guy in the blue shirt thinks that it didn't understand, you know, why such and such happened. Just write down everything that is said, and whatever, you know, it'll be chicken scratch, I'm sure, but when you get back to your writer's desk at the end of the evening or the next day, you should do it quickly, because these things pass out of our minds, whether we think we're going to be able to retain them or not. You're going to want to go over that list, and you're going to want to be able to remember then, in the quiet of your own writer's desk in your room, you're going to be able to then decide and make those decisions, what, you know, what things you're going to change about your script and what you're not going to change. And guess what? None of the audience is going to be there with you. You're going to be there on your own, and you're going to be able to make all the decisions because you're in control. And remembering that you're ultimately in control of your script will help you when, you know, at those moments, you know, and this involves playwright workshops, being able to take criticism and feedback while you're workshopping one of your plays. You know, the other people in the workshop give you feedback. The instructor will, of course, have something to say. But this also involves when you get a staged reading. A theater is interested in doing one of your works and they want to read it. They want to be able to see a playwright who's professional and who presents themselves in a calm manner. And that type of a playwright is the kind of a playwright that people will want to work with. Because, first and foremost, your attitude is going to make a difference on your altitude, how high you rise as a writer. A lot of it has to do with your attitude and your disposition, okay? You may be right about something, but if your disposition is unpleasant, people don't care. And the bottom line is that people are spending their time, you know, which time is the most valuable thing we have. They're spending their time coming to see your work, and someone in that audience may have a great idea for you, and they may not be able to say it right, but if you're listening, you're going to be able to pick up some great input on how to make your script great. So let's be good listeners, and let's be gracious to the people that give their time to help make our scripts better. And that's all there is to say on receiving criticism, and I will see you next time at the writer's desk.